Sometimes developers get a bit wacky with their visions, and due to that have given us some incredible controllers. And then there's whatever these are. In this video, we're going to dive into gaming's most cursed, over-engineered, and accidentally hilarious controllers. The ones that make you ask, who approved this? Grab a normal controller, hold it tight, and be grateful because after this video, it's going to look pretty sensible. For everyone who found this video, I hope you're having a good day, and enjoy. Now when a gimmick goes so hard on the vibe, it forgets you're meant to play a game with it. The Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller. Released in 2005 by Nubby Tech as an official Resident Evil 4 tie-in, it literally turns Dr. Salvador's chainsaw into a controller. Yellow version for GameCube, and a blood-splattered orange-red for PS2. Each individually numbered and packed like a collector statue. It comes with its massive display box, with its own stand, fake bloody rock bass, and a metal plaque, basically screaming, please don't actually use this, just put it on the shelf. But yes, technically it works. All the normal buttons are there, just in the worst possible spots. Sticks and D-pad on the body. Face buttons scattered around, shoulder buttons tucked into the grips, so you have to play finger twister to do anything. The PS2 version even lets you pull the starter cord like a real chainsaw to trigger a button press, and a sound effect. And it has a motion mode, so tilting the saw can control certain actions. Every review at the time basically said the same thing. Looks amazing, plays horribly. It's heavily awkward, and turning Leon into a headshot machine while holding a plastic chainsaw is about as practical as speedrunning with oven mitts on. People have beaten the game with it, but purely as a joke, or a challenge run, not because it's remotely good. The twist is that everything that made it a bad controller made it great collectible. Limited numbers, unique blood splatters, and over-the-top packaging turned it from a mid-2000s meme practically into a horror-themed trophy that now sells for serious money. It's less controller and more Resident Evil shine that, under protest, can technically play the game. Next we have the Onimusha 3 Katana, The Soul. This controller is exactly what it sounds like. Someone looked at a regular PS2 pad and said, what if it was a sword instead? It was a special third-party controller released for Onimusha 3 on PS2. Shaped like a katana with a full-length plastic blade and a chunky hilt. The face buttons, D-pad and sticks are crammed onto the handle and guard area, so instead of holding a comfy pad, you're gripping a fake sword and mashing buttons along the side. It looks awesome in promo photos and on a stand, but actually playing like that is awkward as hell, because your hands are wrapped around something long and unbalanced instead of a controller that fits your palms. Just like the RE4 chainsaw, it falls straight into great conversation piece. Until you realise you're basically trying to clear combos on what feels like a plastic cosplay prop. Hope everyone's enjoying the video so far. I just want to jump in here real quick and say thank you for sticking around and getting this far into the video. It means a lot. I want to ask a favour of everyone. If you are enjoying this content and you do see yourself watching more in the future, hitting that subscriber button really helps us small creators grow. So if I have earned your subscription, I would really appreciate it. Even hitting that little like button goes a long way too. Don't feel obliged, but yeah, it would mean a lot. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Tony Hawk Ride is what happens when someone says, what if we made a skateboarding game where you actually had to stand up? Nobody in the room said no, apparently. Instead of a regular controller, Ride shipped a full-size plastic skateboard deck. No wheels, no trucks, just a motion sensoring board you put on the floor and stand on in your living room. Inside they had little switches to detect your tilts, lifts, plus infrared sensors around the edges that watch your hands and feet for pushing and grabs. In theory, you'd lean to steer, lift the nose to ollie, kick the tail for tricks, and swipe a hand near the side to grab, turning your living room into a low-budget arcade skate machine. In practice it was a lot. You needed space, balance, and practice just to play a basic run. The board only talked to the console though, a wireless dongle. It needed calibrating, and if the sensors or batteries acted up, the game constantly thought you stepped off. Reviews hammered it for unresponsive controls and janky direction, which pretty much killed the big stand on the board and feel like Tony Hawk dream on arrival. The wild part is there was some clever tech in there. When it worked, the board could read pushes, tilts and spins in a way that felt closer to real skating than just mashing buttons. But the learning curve and inconsistency meant most players hit the classic peripheral wall. The moment you realise I could just be having more fun with a normal controller. So Tony Hawk's Rides boards ended up being yet another big awkward plastic relic of the make you stand up to play era. Ambitious, unique, and now mostly found gathering dust in garages. Tony Hawk Ride is what happens when someone says, what if we made a skateboarding game where you actually have to stand up? And nobody in the room said no. Next up we got a Nintendo product you can't be that shocked about it, eh? The Wii Balance Board. This is what happens when Nintendo goes to the bathroom and sees a scale in the corner and says, what if that thing yelled at you about your posture? It launched alongside Wii Fit in 2007 as a wireless pressure sensing board you stand on, shaped like a chunky white scale. Inside are 4 sensors in each corner that track how much weight you're putting on each side, so the console can calculate both weight and the center of balance in real time. Instead of rocking like a physical balance board, it just sits there flat and quietly judges you while the game turns stable weight shifts into inputs. In Wii Fit, that meant a bunch of mini-games and exercises where leaning controlled your character. Tilt to ski, shift your hips, do yoga poses, stand still to prove you're not made of jelly. It paired to the Wii via Bluetooth like a giant, very demanding controller, and even came with extra feet to make it read more accurately on carpet. The gimmick absolutely worked commercially. Wii Fit and the balance board sold tens of millions of units, and basically kicked off the whole EXA gaming boom. Outside of the Wii Fit, a bunch of other games experimented with it. Snowboarding, skateboarding, even some weird party and rhythm titles, but nothing hit the same culture moment. Over time, novelty faded, sinking the board felt like a chore, and they just started showing up in thrift stores and second-hand shops for pocket change. But as a unique controller, it's a perfect snapshot of the Wii era. Nintendo literally turned a bathroom scale into one of the best-selling controllers of all time, and somehow convinced millions of people to do squats in their living room. As much as it was a Wii controller, we all had one. We were all doing squats in our living room. What would you say if I told you there's a controller based on one of the best 90s hip-hop groups of all time? You'd probably tell me I'm tripping. But no, we got the Wu-Tang controller up next. This controller was designed for the logo first and human hand second. It came bundled with the limited edition version of Wu-Tang, Taste the Pain, on the original PlayStation. And the entire pad is shaped like the iconic Wu-Tang W. It's a black controller with bright yellow buttons, and it technically includes everything a standard PS1 pad has. D-pad, base buttons, start select, and 4 shoulder buttons. The problem is where they put them all, because it's cut to follow the W shape. The grips are stubby, the middle is fat, and the shoulder buttons sit on these tiny awkward ridges. Everyone who actually held one says the same thing. There is no right way to grip it, no matter how you rotate it. Something feels wrong, and your fingers start complaining after about 20 minutes of use. On top of that, it's missing the DualShock analog sticks and the rumble. So even if you wanted to main this thing, you're stuck with a worse version of the original PlayStation 1 controller. Just like the RE4 chainsaw, it evolved into exactly what it secretly wanted to be all along, a collector's piece. These days it's more of a hip-hop relic you proudly display next to the game, than a controller you actually plug into your PlayStation 1 and use. Alright, for our last controller, it's probably the biggest one on the list. Steel Battalion's exclusive controller. This controller is less of a controller and more of a full mech cockpit that someone dropped onto your coffee table. It is a giant 3-panel setup made for an original Xbox exclusive, Steel Battalion. With 2 full-size joysticks, a gear lever, and 3-foot pedals. Across the panels, you've got around 40 plus inputs, weapon triggers, comms dial, radio channel, wiper switch, zoom controls, radar modes, ignition, even a big red flip-covered eject button that you have to hit to bail out before your mech explodes. To even start a mission, you literally run a setup sequence, flip on the power, fuel, oxygen, open up screens, then hit the ignition in the right order, like you're booting a real mech inside of an Xbox game. The panels handle acceleration, braking, and a sidestep, where the twin sticks split movement and aiming, so you're constantly juggling gear shifts, weapons, and comms like a mech sim pilot. It launched at around $200 USD back in 2002, and only really worked for Steel Battalion and its online sequel, which made it one of the most expensive single-player peripherals ever sold. The catch was, If you died without ejecting, the game wiped the pilot's save permanently. So all these buttons weren't just for show. The plastic cover over the eject switch actually mattered. So why most wired controllers are dumb? Simply gimmicks. Steel Battalons went the other way. It was so serious and over-engineered that you basically had to learn a new hobby just to play an Xbox game. And that has it. That is a list of some goofy ass controllers. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below which controller was your favorite, or even a controller I didn't mention that you've had in the past or in your childhood, or a collectible item you have on the shelf right now. If I was to get one of these controllers, it'd definitely be the Wu-Tang PlayStation 1 controller. As a hip hop fan myself, I would absolutely love that on my shelf. That'd be pretty fucking sick. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and until the next one, peace.